So what is anger? When we begin to look into anger very deeply, we understand that anger is our need for power in a world in which we are most of the time, powerless. So much deeper than anger is the recognition that we are powerless. This is the source of anger. This is the source of this emotion. Anger is actually, the very presence of anger is the denial of our powerlessness. We don't want to accept that. It is too difficult, too painful. So what anger is this non-acceptance, is the denial of a reality of life, the reality of the world. This doesn't mean that we are always powerless, not at all. But anger arises when we are, you see? When we are and we don't want to be that way. Why don't we want to be powerless? Well, that's almost a ridiculous question, right? There is a certain element in us that just doesn't want to make a compromise. And what is it that we don't want to compromise? It is life exactly as we imagined it to be. I have a certain imagination, a certain picture in my head of how people should behave exactly, and how the world should be, and how my plans should be fulfilled. And we cannot really let go of that. Any compromise seems just unacceptable. Now, this refusal to compromise is what I call the primordial wish. And I want to explain what the primordial wish is. It's something that we carry with us from our early childhood. When we were children, we were certain that the world is ours, you see? That somehow whatever we dream about can come true, we can become whatever we want to, we have all kinds of powers, sometimes even miraculous powers, and the world was open. And there was no distinction between the outer world and the inner world, you see? It seemed like the outer world is the inner world. There is actually no barrier. Therefore, what I imagine, what I want, is what happens. It doesn't make sense that the world has the boundaries, barriers, that suddenly there is a wall that I come up against and that I cannot cross. So we had this feeling of what I call the world according to me. The world, I have a vision, I have a dream. It is unlimited, and everything that I want is everything that happens. Then, sooner or later, for some of us sooner, some of us later, we tend to speak of adolescence as the rebellion, the anger that we feel, as something that is related to authorities and so on and so on. Yes, this is one of the components, but there is a more immediate component. It is the realization that there is a huge difference between the inner world and the outer world, a huge barrier, and it's this primordial wish that becomes crushed against the wall of reality, and you realize you have to go through this painful disillusionment. The world is not yours. This anger, this rage turns into this rebellion that we are experiencing. Of course, nobody explains it to us, you see. Nobody comes to and says, well, you see, you used to think that we have a primordial wish. I also have a primordial wish in me, and even I am still infantile, like you see. I'm talking as the parent or the teacher. We both of us, we refuse to let go of that. But you are experiencing it harder because it's the first time you're realizing this, you see. Why do we get excited so much about these images of superheroes? Superman, super that, super this, right? Everyone, we are fascinated by these images because there are reflections of this infantile wish. We also want to move through walls, to control the world, to have secret powers, and we don't.